We are live.
We are live.
It's Thursday. It's 1 o'clock. I kind of want to say it's time for Crackerjack.
Yeah, it's 5 and it's Crackerjack.
Absolutely. Well, it's CC7D, which doesn't have the same ring to it, really, does it? Oh, look, there we are. We are.
I went to see Crackerjack in the theatre.
Did you?
Yeah. And they really did give cabbages away. And it was just like, God.
I remember cabbages.
How exciting is that?
Right.
Actually, I quite like that now. Sorry.
What's that? Cabbages?
Yeah, a cabbage. Yeah, I can cook that. Give us it.
The first person to like us, we'll send them a cabbage.
Oh dear, how funny.
Nobody's with us just yet, so I've got stop looking at me so expectantly. My neighbour's Springer Spaniel down here, who I'm looking after, and he's just like, what are we doing? Are we going somewhere? Are we doing? Surely it's time for another walk right now. Go on, out you go, go on away. He just stands and stares at me.
Yeah, that's like a spaniel.
Nothing worse than nothing more unnerving than just being stared at.
So, how are you?
I'm good. My cold feels much better today, which is good. Had a new freshly shorn head, which is always good.
Makes you feel grand.
Yeah, good. Just it's really peaceful at the moment. I am really peaceful at the moment and just in the moment, which is funny because that's our topic of conversation for today.
Yeah, that's very strange because I wrote in my journal today, there's a calmness within me, like something beautiful is happening. Yeah. I have an awareness. I'm very present. My memory is sharp, and I feel like I'm in celebration.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like. I feel like I'm celebrating, but I have no idea. It's not like, oh, it's a birthday or it's Christmas or it's anything like that. It's just there's a celebration happening.
Yeah, the feeling of it. That's really the nub of it, isn't it? That is really the nub of it. So we've got somebody live with us. I can't see who you are, but if you want to give us a little love, comment, say hello, so I know who's there if you want to make yourself known. But thank you for joining us. So yeah, it's that feeling, isn't it? That's the nub of it. So we were talking about this week, weren't we? When we were chatting on Tuesday, I think it was, and so what did I say? There is only now. We only have this moment that we're in right now. It's the only thing that's tangible, I guess, because we're here and it's now.
Because we're in it.
And it's about enjoying that moment, each of the moments as they come, and enjoying them actually in them, rather than focusing on the past and blaming yourself for something you've done in the past, feeling shameful for something you've done in the past, feeling guilty for something you haven't done in the past, and playing that whole coulda, woulda, shoulda game in your head. If only I had done this, and stuck back there in those moments, wishing that you'd made different choices, and beating yourself up for things that you did do that you wish you hadn't done, or things that you didn't do and you wish you had done.
Yeah, and then portraying that into the future, saying this time next week.
Yeah.
So you get stuck and you are never in the moment.
Yes, absolutely. And it's and kind of basing the future on what the past experience, that's what the brain does, isn't it? It bases the future on what the past experience was. So if you, I don't know, let's go for a really easy example, like going to the dentist. I am not a fan of the dentist. Most of my dental visits have had some kind of discomfort associated with them. So whenever I think about going to the dentist, it's always like, well, it's going to be awful. It's going to be a terrible experience based on the past, because it's always been. Although actually, once I get there, these days it's never a terrible experience, but I still have that overarching feeling, thought process that if I go to the dentist, that it's going to be a bad experience. It's going to hurt.
So you're already thinking about it based on the past, and for the future, you're thinking, oh no, it's the dentist.
So we do that, don't we? And we get anxious about things coming up, because when these things have come up in the past, they haven't gone as well. Maybe we've, I don't know, done something we perceive as wrong, or we feel like we failed in some way at something we were going to do, and we think it's going to happen again. So that's basing the future. It's living in the past, being concerned about the thing that happened, and then projecting into the future that it's probably going to happen again.
Yeah,
living your life based on that.
Outer world follows inner world. You'll be repeating the same pattern.
Yeah, and we kind of attract more of it, don't we? Just because we're feeling it.
Yeah,
it's all about the emotions that we're feeling, and attracting more of the same. And this we kind of started to have, and then there's the other thing where we dream up, we come up with some scenario, some ideal situation that we would like to be living, in the future, and that's a goal that we're heading towards.
Yes.
So I don't know, I want to be in a beautiful relationship, or I want to be earning £10,000 a month, or
I'd like to be a size 8.
Or I'd like to be a size 8. There you go. Yes, there you go. All that. So, and then what happens is we kind of get fixated on this idea of what we want in the future. And this is how I used to live my life, for sure. Probably you the same as well, Sarah.
Yeah.
So we go, that's what I'm heading towards. Huh?
That's what I thought living was.
Yes. So we've got this idea that this is where we want to go to, and when we've put that in the future and we're heading towards it. And when we think about it, it makes us feel really joyful, and excited for a minute, until we don't get there tomorrow, and then we kind of have a little bit of a wobble and a oh my God, this is never going to happen for me, and all of that. And then you do something, I don't know, say some affirmations or something, and you put yourself back in that place. And it's really about the feeling. It's really about the emotion. So I think we kind of got started on this conversation, didn't we? Because I listened to something, a reel on Facebook, and it's a guy called Daryl something, I can't remember, but he channels an extraterrestrial called Bashar. And he was saying that thing in the future that you want to head towards is just all that visualization, that ideal scenario that you create. The main purpose, the purpose of that, not even the main purpose, just the purpose of it, is to put you into a state of emotion, of feeling right now, of being in those higher vibrations, excited and joyful and feeling, what's another word? Give me another word.
Excited, joyful. Oh God, I can't think.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah. So that excited, joyful, loving kind of state that puts you in is raises your vibration, and then you start to attract things to you that are off that vibration. But it doesn't necessarily mean to say that thing that you visualized is going to manifest for you exactly as you see it.
Yeah.
The purpose of that visualization is to bring those high vibrational emotions up inside of you, the excitement and the like, and the joyfulness and the peacefulness and all of that. And what you and I came to was that we kind of almost don't need that visualization anymore since clearing our records. We actually find that within ourselves every day, in the majority. Not to say we don't have challenges. And actually we can create those emotions. Those emotions I don't know, do we create them, or do they're just there? Tap into them. Yeah. Regardless of whether or not the outside world looks the way that we want it to.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
If you're listening, does that make sense? Drop us something in the comments. Let us know. Oh, Catherine Singer's here. Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, yes. Happy Thanksgiving, Catherine. And Judith as well. Happy Thanksgiving, Judith. Because, of course, it is Thanksgiving in the perfect day for gratitude. Although that should be every day rather than just Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, every day is a Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah. And that is really the biggest shift since clearing core negative blocks from my Akashic Records, is that these joyful, high vibrational emotions, peace, joy, abundance, love, they are there on a daily basis. They are easily accessible on a daily basis without having to work hard for them, regardless of what's happening in the outside world, and without having to be moving towards something specific and that I believe is ideal for me.
Yeah, I think it's. I feel like it's like I've got a holiday coming or something. It's that feeling of old when I was in the corporate world, where I'd go, "Oh, I've got a holiday in 4 weeks' time. You know, I've just got to get through this next 4 weeks, and then I'm on holiday." But then the holiday ends. But now I feel like the holiday doesn't end, and I'm always on holiday. I feel like it's that feeling of, yes, there are difficult times and, things that are sent to challenge us, make us realize things, bring our awareness, I should say, not challenge, bring our awareness, and give us an opportunity to learn. But there's that definite feeling of just excitement, underlying excitement. And I used to think, what am I excited about? What is it? What is it? And actually, it's just life. It's just perfect.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. I was going to say something else. Stuff just keeps going out of my head these days.
No, I'm getting better at keeping it in. I was going to say, for example, yesterday we went for a walk, didn't we, Kat?
We did, yes.
And talked to these big old trees. And there were these mosses and everything, and I was blown away by the beauty. And Kat was like, "What are you looking at?" And it was just all the lichen and the mosses, and they were stunning. And they had these big, majestic trees with wisdom and age. And then you had these tiny little, mosses and lichens, I can't think. Lichens. And it was just like, wow, what a contrast. What a contrast. And look at the beauty. And it was just, it filled my heart. It really did fill my heart yesterday. So yesterday I left feeling, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just by the beauty around you, not by what's going on in your world specifically. And
so go on.
So it was I might be in the middle of a conversation with Sarah yesterday, and she was like, oh, and she showed me more moss and more lichens that she was enamored of.
I think they were put there. They were decorating the trees like Christmas. They were just stunning.
They were.
And it was just like how, when you go through it, reminded me of just going through your everyday life, and whether you're driving or that feeling. I was told once upon a time, Sarah, you're on a train and it's raining outside and you're looking out the window and the outside is your life and it's just a blurred vision. That's what your life is just a blur. And that made me think yesterday about, oh my gosh, I've actually stopped and I'm actually feeling it and experiencing it and looking at it. So even the minute little bits of details was I was so aware of. It
was very beautiful, and we did almost turn into tree huggers, didn't we? We were.
Well, we did. We went. There's some of them you could feel the energy.
Yeah, massive amount of energy. Once we got away from the loudspeakers playing Christmas music.
Yeah, that was a little bit early. Yeah, and I think the birds left.
And this is for both of us. I think this place that we're in now has come. Well, for me, it's come off the back of around about the beginning of the month. Me going, right, I'm going to stop, and I feel called to stop. I feel drawn to stop trying to make things happen, and just let go of that need for control. You know, it's like coming up to Christmas, and do I do a workshop, and do I do a launch? Do I do a whatever for business? Do I go looking for more Bowen clients? What am I doing to, you know, to bring money in? And I'm just like, no, I just want to stop, let go of the need for control, surrender to the possibilities of the universe. And that's really, and be excited, which I was, about what the heck, what's on the other side of this? And this is what it feels like. And it's not that, you know, I'm not doing anything, but I'm just enjoying life now.
Yeah.
As opposed to waiting to enjoy life until I have X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would say finding joy in everything I do, even some of the crappy jobs. But Richie said something the other day, and I was just like, yeah, but aren't we lucky? Aren't we lucky that we get to experience that? It's not a great experience, but what's it made you think? Oh, and there was a whole cascade of positiveness that came out of it. And it was like, so, you know, in the past, I would have stuck on that, oh God, you know, this is rubbish and it's happened. But just being a bit more open and looking at things.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's actually literally something I just listened to before I came out, and I wrote it down because I thought maybe we'd talk about it next week, but actually maybe it applies now. And that is approaching what you deem to be challenges with curiosity, as opposed to exactly that. Oh God, again, here we go again. Rather than, okay, what's this here to show me? What can I learn from this? What's it here to show me? How is this, you know, how is looking at this with curiosity going to teach me something, show me something, allow me to grow in some way?
Yeah.
Really does just makes life so different.
It's a completely different approach. And when I look at children at school and that, I just think, gosh, can you imagine if they taught this kind of thought process and experience of life at school?
Yeah.
It would liberate so many. And the youngsters have the mind, and they're not closed down, and they've got they've still got that curiosity that's going on. And you just think, whereas, you know, when we get to our 40s and 50s, we're really kind of shut down, and we can be very shut down.
Yeah. Yes.
So.
Definitely. And you know, I don't know about you, you're probably the same, but you know, I've heard over the years many times about living in the present moment, and I've tried an approximation of it, what I think it is, and actually now it's just just keep getting zoop, zoop, bursts of energy going through my body. Now it just seems to be there, as long as I don't try and force or fight or reject anything. It's just like whatever's happening is happening for a reason, for my best good. I choose to have that. I choose to look at it like that, which then allows me to be in the present. I don't, you know, guilt, blame, shame used to be a big part of my world, my internal world. It's all gone. It doesn't exist anymore in my head. I don't think about the past. I'm just like, oh, what did I do yesterday? Oh yeah, I went to Weston Burt Arboretum with Sarah yesterday. What did I do the day before? Got no idea. Go forwards. And now that's it. Or not even going forwards. That was wrong. It's just not that it's wrong. It's just about being here now. What's the next thing?
Yeah, and have that awareness.
She looked at me a minute ago. It's like, what's next? What's next? What's next?
Yeah, yeah. It's a walk.
Like,
It's a walk.
And it's just such a lovely space to live from. I mean, it's freeing. It's exciting. It's joyful. It's peaceful. It's abundant in a way that does not rely on material things. You know, we often think of abundance as having the latest car or having a big house or having a bank account full of money or any of those things. And actually, it's not. It's the little lichens on the tree.
It is. They still make me smile.
It's the frost that was covering everywhere this morning when I went outside. It's listening to my horses eat hay and the birds tweet while I pick up wheelbarrow full of poo. It's kind of, you know, seeing everything that I have, everything that I've built with my life so far, actually, and actually going, wow, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah. Yes.
Rather than, oh my God, but it's not good enough because I don't have X, Y, Z.
And it applies to anything that you look at in your life, you know, whether it's how the kids are doing, you know, it's a very stressful time of year for the students when they're getting ready for their GCSEs. And you know, you hear of lots of parents getting anxious and starting to, you know, build the pressure up. But actually, I just look at it and go, I'm blessed to have kids, but the other thing is when I see them, everybody else getting anxious, it's like you're over there. You're not celebrating the fact that your son or your daughter got up this morning.
Yeah, they're okay. They're healthy.
They're okay. They're healthy. They made you laugh. They're laughing. You know, there's so many things that are in the present that you can just forget to look at if you're in the future too much.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm grateful I don't have children.
Oh.
Not just. I mean, I'm grateful for my horse. He's my baby, definitely, and I wouldn't be without him. But I'm also grateful that I don't have children. I'm grateful that I'm not married, because I don't know that I would be doing what I'm doing right now if I'd have gone down that path. I would have set myself up on a whole different path of life. I mean, I might be, but I might not be as well.
Yeah, it's I would say, everybody's exactly where they need to be. So it's perfect.
In my experience of relationships, before I actually started to do some of this personal development work, before I started to explore the Akashic Records, before I started to explore being connected and spirituality and the universe and all of that, you know, I didn't have very nurturing. No, that's perhaps not the right word. They weren't relationships that really supported me in growth. Therefore, I probably would have carried on doing that because I would have been stuck in it.
Yeah,
I feel maybe. But so anyway, that's by the by. I am grateful that I have just me to look after and my four-leggeds, as you are grateful for your children and your husband. So just all I mean is that, you know, wherever you're at, you can be grateful for what you've.
Absolutely. But it was just that thing that we take our eye off the ball, or you can see how easy it is, and you know, you're a parent, you're going to get stressed because you're anxious about your child, blah 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 blah. But actually, you just need to let them fly, and if they fall, that's fine. But what happens if they fly? You know, it's just like the experience. Something happened this morning, and the experience that I got out of it was just like, wow, I did not expect that to come out of my son's mouth, but wow, you know, he's doing all right. He's doing all right. So yeah, so it's just that thing of we're just hunkering down and we're planning too far ahead. You need to enjoy the moments because they make you smile. Otherwise, you'll miss them. You'll miss them.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's about being present in whatever it is that you're doing right this second, as opposed to ignoring what's going on here and chasing after something out in the future that you think is going to make you feel better. And it's pretty much a guarantee that when you get to the thing that you think you want in the future, you're not going to be, it's not going to be what you think it is. It's not going to make the difference in your life that brings you joy and peace and love and abundance. It's going to be okay, well, I've done that now. What next?
Yeah, and I think it is
to make you feel better.
Yeah, it's that thing of what's next all the time, isn't it? Because you think that you've had the joy and abundance while you're trying to get to it, but you're striving to get to it. So you're actually not really in joy and abundance. You're just excited to get to it.
Yeah.
But that place of peace that you can find in amongst all the turmoil is bliss.
Yeah. Bliss. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely bliss. So we hope you find that helpful. So Catherine says every morning and every night she thanks Sophia Source for this life and all its experiences. And she also says, see the beauty in everything. And Judith says, gratitude in all things. You can always find the silver lining in whatever you're going through. Yeah, absolutely. And it's not about ignoring. It's not about being, there's a term that started to get bandied around, I think a few years ago, called toxic positivity. And it's not about, putting on a brave face whilst inside all is kind of like in turmoil. It really is just appreciating the thing in the moment, not kind of, going, I'm fine. It's one of my pet peeves. It's a big thing in my family. How are you? I'm fine. When, there's clearly not, there's something going on. Let's not say it. I'm fine. In denial, any of those things, but just enjoying, just taking the time in between the rushing around and the things that you might think you have to do. It's just like, no. The only person that makes you feel like you should do something, you have to do something, you ought to do something is you. And you can stop doing that at any point in time that you want to.
Yeah. And you'll stand there for at least 20 minutes going, well, what does that look like then? There's a challenge. Anybody listening to this, do that. When you're in your midst of all your things that you think you're trying to do, like your list of jobs or like I used to do, just lose the list and stop. And then do something you want to do.
Yes, something that brings you joy.
Yeah. Forget the list.
Yeah.
And see how you feel then. And then imagine that could be pretty much how you live your life.
Yes. Because we all live in a friendly universe that has our back.
Oh, yes.
There is I was going to say more to be had, but I don't mean as in more stuff to be had, but there is more joy and peace and abundance to be had, and more, who knows what turn your life's going to take when you actually start to co-create with the universe rather than thinking that, with your, getting your ego involved, thinking that you know exactly where it should be and how to get there. There is much more at play here that we don't, that we'll never understand with our brains.
No, we are limited.
Yes. And we want to be unlimited.
We do.
By tapping into that other side of us. Definitely.
We do.
Cool. Well, I think we've probably done that one to death, have we? And to remember, Catherine says, and remember that the dark always serves the light. We need both to grow. We do. Because without the dark, without the contrast, without the dark, there is no light.
Yes, it's not saying ignore it. We're not saying ignore it, or it's not. It's those moments of uncomfortableness is where you're going to grow, where you recognize everything.
Yeah, so, but you have to stop and feel it. You have to stop and allow.
But it's about being in the moment.
And not resist it, because what you resist persists.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Catherine. Nice little bit to add on the end.
Good clarification.
Yes. Wonderful. Well, we will be back next week talking about something. Who knows what? Sarah is going to turn into David Bellamy next week, or David Attenborough, and she's going to bring a branch in. She's going to go, look at all the legends on here.
I wonder whether it's anything to do with Gaia. That's come to me. That's funny. Who knows? I just wonder whether it just came to me. I wonder whether it's anything to do with Gaia. So when I'm in my meditation, I'll have a look for legends.
Yes. Yes. That. So somebody said something to me today. She said, I said to her, Sarah and I are going live today if you want to join us. And she went, well, I'd love to. She said, but I'm doing some channeling for a 6 week program we're just about to start. She said, I'm going to spend the day with spirit. And I went, wow, that's really, how cool is that? So one day over the weekend, I am going to spend in meditation or in that meditative state. Just going to try it. It might not end up being a day, but I'm certainly going to give it a big chunk.
That would be beautiful. And feedback on that next week then.
Yeah, it feels a little bit like yesterday when we had that idea about how to work together, and we both got the end at the same time. Wow. At the same time. Oh, did you have that? Yes. Okay.
That was so funny. Yes. That's interesting. Yes. Cool. Oh, goosebump again.
On that note, we will go. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Judith, for joining us, and viewer number 3 who hasn't revealed themselves, which is absolutely fine. If anybody has any questions, any thoughts they want to share, please feel free to do so. We would love to hear them and help you out further with clarification if needed. I mean, I say with clarification, we talk about these things like it's all fact. It's just, it's all about building an empowering model to live by, an empowering belief system to live by, because that's all we can do.
Yes.
Right. Bye-bye, Sarah.
Adieu.
Adieu. See you next week, 1:00 Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.